Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood number BF157. This is a pull handle. It's actually a pair of pull handles that are set up in a Type 16HD mount. So here's what's in the package. A couple of pull handles. They're identical, with the exception of each pull is, of course, modified based on its mounting type. So let's put one of them down. And the BF157 is specifically a 1-inch diameter bar that is offset, that it has a 2.5-inch clearance, that it is 10-inch center to center. And this set of pulls, if you want a pair of them or two of them mounted back to back, you have to order them in multiples of two because you're buying two pulls. And then you specify the mount type. Well, I said that this is a Type 16HD. I think I did. This is what the bolt package looks like. It's basically a 5/16 18 by 2.25 inch length here, or thereabouts, double cone head. So the exterior pull handle is going to have a 5/16 18 hole simply drilled and tapped down into here. That's all that it's going to be. The interior pull will have a large hole drilled in it to accept the double cone head, and then it'll have two holes counterboard that are tapped for the set screws. So what you'll do is you will install the bolt, you're going to run the bolt through the door from the inside to the outside and tighten that down. And you'll do that in both places. Then you'll simply bring the pull handle over that, and then you're going to insert the set screws into the four holes and tighten those down into those flattened areas over the cone head. What I don't like that Rockwood does, and I can't say that they're the only company who does it, I would really want these holes at the bottom of the handle. The downside of that is it would make every back-to-back set handed, but I would prefer not to see that. I will be able to see that. I'd prefer not to see that. I'd prefer it be down here. I mean, I can certainly understand why they do it. I would have no problem ordering them handed so that the set screws were in a concealed or more concealed location. Anyway, moving on. So I had said the BF157 is 1-inch diameter, that it's 10-inch center to center, okay, that it is 2.5-inch clearance from the face of the door, which makes it 3.5 on the outside. This offset, the total offset of the bar itself, it's about 4.25 inch. Okay, and the BF stands for barrier free. That's meant to infer the distance from the face of the door to the inside of the handle. For Rockwood's purposes, it's 2.5, and I think for a common agreement that 2.5 inch is the dimension for handicap compliance. Even though I understand that that dimension is not listed anywhere in the A117 document, the handicap accessibility guide. But nonetheless, that is what has been used for that sort of purpose. And again, this is a pair of pulls with a Type 16HD. Why would you want to select the Type HD 16? That would be because pull handles take a lot of use and abuse. And what I mean to say by that is you can do a Type 16. You can do a Type 5. Type 5 is a 1/4-20 with a single cone head. A Type 16 is a 1/4-20 with a double cone head, but when you add HD to the end of it, it goes from 1/4-20 to 5/16. Any time that you have an opportunity to specify a thicker or a stronger or more surface area type mount, I would encourage that you do that. Based on just simply how many replacement bolts alone that we sell. We don't sell a lot of 5/16 double cone head bolts, and there's a part number for that bolt, and we'll get to that in a moment, compared to how many just, SP1025, which happens to be the 1/4-20 single cone head bolt we sell. Lots of the 1/4-20s that we sell as replacement hardware, that's because that's the most common. But those instances where you have a 5/16 or a 3/8, it's unusual to sell those bolts because, yes, they're less common, but they're less likely to break as well. So this is the 628 finish. That means two things. It means that it's made of solid aluminum. Well, it means that it's made of aluminum, the base material. It doesn't mean it's solid. This happens to be solid. And it has a clear anodized finish on it. Okay, that's what it looks like. Obviously, it's going to be 11-inch on the outside dimension, overall height. So let's switch now to the screen view, and let's take a closer look at some supporting documentation. Okay, here is the item that we are indeed looking at, BF157 in a 628. Clear Anodized Aluminum Barrier free 90-degree offset solid door pull, 10-inch center to center. Extended description information down here, 90-degree offset solid pull. They do offer tubular pulls, which is a tube, not in aluminum, but they would in stainless steel most definitely. 1-inch diameter, 10-inch center to centers. 3.5-inch projection based on that 2.5-inch clearance. Overall is 11. Fasteners, 1/4 through bolt for standard mounting supplied for 1 3/4 thick doors. See mounting options link for mounting details. Specifying the comment field, which is here, if your door thickness is other than 1 3/4. You should declare it every time, just because you're specifying the hardware. It would be nice to know what that door thickness is. You know, if you have an 1 3/8 door, you could have literally a 4-inch thick door. I have people that buy these because they are building acoustical sorts of barriers, doors, walls, things of that nature. Well, for those acoustical doors where they have a home theater or they just want to deaden the sound, those doors end up getting quite thick. And it is for that reason that you might need longer bolts when you're through bolting it, either a single handle or a pair. Now, information down here, links, knurling option, let's just get to that in a moment. You could create a surface onto this pole that would indicate to the visually impaired that there is a reason not to go into this opening. Knurling is also used sometimes as anti-slip resistance when we do push and pull bars for sauna or steam room applications. Obviously, you know, a steam room in locker rooms of country clubs, health clubs, things of that nature. Knurling is not a bad idea. It does increase that surface area. You don't want a hand to slip. Mounting type. This is where you'll specify the mounting type that you want. And again, if you're ordering a pair of them back to back, be sure to order in multiples of 2. Now let's look at the mounting options since we were just looking at that. And this will show you the different types of mounts available for these poles. You have single poles in a type 1, 12, and a 15, through bolt, and they only change really based on the material of the door and also whether or not you want it to be a decorative sort of finish. The type 1 is just a countersunk washer, whereas the type 12 is the same concept with what you might call a more decorative cap on the outside. Well, here's our back-to-back information on the type 16 here. I don't see a type. We don't have a type 5 listed here. A type 5 is the same item as a 16, except that it's just a single head on the cone. A little less durable, I would argue. The 16 is the 1/4, the 16HD is the 5/16. Back-to-back for glass, and then you can do surface concealed if you want to, and it's very commonly done. You have an exit device on one door, and then you have a pull handle on the opposite side. Well, very often you don't run a through bolt through that door because you might have trouble with conflict between the hardware that's actually in the style of the door, meaning you can't drill a hole through the door because you've got concealed exit device internals there. You could just surface mount, drill and tap that hole, assuming it's been properly reinforced, then use a double cone head here. And again, when you add HD, you go up to the next largest diameter thread type. Now, template, very simple and straightforward generic document that applies to these different part numbers. And in fact, and I'll show you in the product catalog, because of what this is, just a 1-inch bar, just 1-inch bar stock that's been bent. Literally, Rockwood can make this any center to center, any offset. Well, I don't know that any, but they can certainly make it any center to center that you need. And we've done simple handles like this, relatively simple handles like this that are 36-inch center to center. And you might say, well, why would I need one that tall? Well, if you've got a 6'8" or a 7-foot tall door, 10 inches is probably pretty good. Well, if you've got a 9-foot door, you're probably going to want the hardware to grow with the height of that, so everything seems to be in proportion. And we'll talk more about custom pull handles as well in a moment. Then we have the product brochure, and this is an overview of the one-page document out of the catalog that shows these BF15 numbers. You can see how the part number changes as the center to center changes. Okay, these are just typical items. Again, they can make any size that you want, and we've certainly done larger openings. Aluminum, larger center to centers. Aluminum, brass, bronze, stainless steel are base materials this can be done in. They can do it in a micro shield over stainless, in satin, or 316 stainless, which they can do polished. They can powder coat white, red, and black. Black is a very popular finish nowadays. This is the one recommended for handicap compliance and other mount types they talk about here, and that is something we've discussed. There is... This item is available in lots of different finishes. So on those base materials we talked about earlier, on aluminum they can do obviously clear, bronze, extra dark bronze, black. On brass they can do your brasses, your chromes, your nickels. On bronze they can do your anything bronze, polished, satin, antique, oil rubbed, stainless steel, satin or polished. And then they can powder coat. But be mindful. I think if you want a powder coat finish, we need to declare to the factory what base material you want. They will not use aluminum or bronze. Pardon me. They will not use brass or bronze. But I've been told by the factory that in general with powder coating, you'll look to powder coat the least expensive base material. So if you want stainless steel, let's be sure that we have the order set up correctly to powder coat over stainless rather than powder coat over aluminum. Or you might say, no, I want aluminum. I want the hardware to be as light as possible, meaning you don't want to add unnecessary pounds to the weight of the door, because that is a long-term wear factor on your hinges, your door closer, your frame, your door, your welds that hold the hinge plates on or whatever is holding them on, screws, etc. So, you know, let's declare that. The reason I'm saying it is I've ordered powder-coated material in the past, and I was a little surprised to get the base material that I got, because there was an item that I didn't know they offered in aluminum, and I was expecting as a result of that to get stainless steel. Well, I didn't. I got aluminum, and while it was fine, I realized, yeah, we need to declare our base material moving forward. Now, there's a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page, and when you click on that, you will be able to pull up this page where you can view not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog here. Now, I said that I would talk about the part number for that bolt only. Let's do that. I pulled up my parts master table, and that's a 5/16 double cone head. So that bolt alone is an SP1057. Okay, if you needed that bolt. The set screw that's in there is an SP1026. The most common bolt that we sell is the SP1025. I mean, we stock 50 or 100 of these at all times. Very, very common. We don't sell many of the SP1057s. Okay. It's more common to order SP1025s in custom lengths than it is to order any other replacement part. So this listing here goes over all the mount types, as well as the different bolts that can be ordered in piece parts for this material as well. Then also, I had mentioned door pulls and custom door pulls. The link here, architectural door pulls. This is 100+ pages of lots of designs of door pulls. Suffice it to say, it's not only a catalog, but a picture or idea book as well. You scroll through here and you're just going to get lost in terms of how much variety there is when it comes to Rockwood door pulls. You don't have to settle for the BF157. You can kick it up a notch if you want, and here's the catalog by which you would do so. Okay. Really great quality material. We've shipped this material all over the globe. Never dissatisfied. And again, my only desire would be that they hide those set screws or evidence of how they're mounted a little bit better. But I do understand keeping it simple as much as possible. Okay. Now this is the RM material, and that will look just like your BF157. It's because it does, it is. But on the RM material, you're going to get, I believe in a back-to-back, they'll only do a Type 11 XD, which is a spanner mount. A very elegant, very secure, very strong, very concealed method of back-to-back mounting these, where you have a left-right thread concept and a spanner washer that allows you to tighten the unit down onto itself over the door. Anyway, there's an evidence of why you might use longer poles. You know, these are clearly 8-foot doors. Actually, who knows what they are? They could be 10-foot doors, because they have 5 hinges. Very likely 10-foot doors. A little, you know, if this is 40-inch from the finished floor, yeah, 10-foot doors. If I'm just kind of eyeballing that, that's an evidence for something a little bit longer. Those are probably 18-inch would be my guess, maybe 24-inch. Probably 18-inch. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, a very nice quality pull handle from Rockwood. You know, not much to it. And why would you buy this? Well, I'll tell you, the people that buy this, okay, this is literally, yeah, I was about to say, this, retail spaces, you know, the front of the gas station, the front of any retail space that you walk into, those pull handles take a lot of use and abuse. The door closers, the hinges, well, handles either, they certainly cosmetically wear out, where clients will want to change them just because they've got years of people grabbing them. The sharp objects on their fingers or in their hands are damaging the finish. They'll want to replace it because you've got a pair of doors like that picture we just saw, where the right side, or the right-hand reverse door, that's very worn. The other door looks still pretty nice because, you know, what is it? 90% of the population is, you know, right-handed. So you might do it for cosmetic reasons, or you might do it just because they're beat up. They've been damaged, vandalized, someone has pulled one off the door, or, of course, new construction. New construction, you'll generally sell a dozen of them, 50 of them at one time, that sort of scenario. The name Rockwood is synonymous with high quality fit and finish, exceptional tech support, customer service, extremely prompt, predictable, and reliable shipping lead times, and a really total package when it comes to the trim and auxiliary part of the greater door and hardware industry. If you have any questions on the BF157 and a 628 finish, or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.